Hey everybody, and welcome to the Ninth Realm, an Age of Sigmar podcast brought to you by FrontlineGaming.org, where you can get your tabletop gaming goodies at a discount all the days yonder, hither and fro.
Does that include air day?
Nice.
Every day.
Day.
Oh, wow.
Todos los días.
As long as there's a here to have, the day will work.
Hither and yon.
Okay.
We will get you your goodies almost always at a discount and free shipping in the continental United States of America on orders over $99.
I'm glad you said that.
Huh?
That way.
I like to tease it out a little bit. Free shipping almost everywhere.
Almost everywhere.
So anyway, guys, we do talk about Age of Sigmar, and there is a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and dig in. And of course, I am your host, Reese, and with me are my co-hosts, the lovely and talented.
Lovely and talented Scott Reed.
And the salty banana,
Jason. I didn't know if you were like saying
banana?
one of us was lovely and one of us was talented. I was trying to think who would be the lovely.
Well,
You're lovely. I'm talented.
Okay, I'll take it.
Twitch has dubbed you the salty banana.
That is true. I don't know where that came from.
I don't
It just
either.
came out.
But it is the funniest nickname I've heard in a long time.
I'll take it.
And thank you for joining us for episode 54 of the Ninth Realm. And today we have some really exciting news. It's been a little quiet on the Age of Sigmar front because of the behemoth that is 8th edition 40K. But we've got another big piece of news. The General's Handbook 2 has been announced. It's coming out in August. We're recording this at the end of July, so it's right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
And they put out an amazingly funny promo video.
Love that video.
God, that was funny.
That was like
Kung
harkening
Fury.
back to like
the 80s.
like toy commercials, right?
Well, not
Or
just
like
toy commercials,
D&D.
movie commercials. You get vague pictures, and then
Yeah.
they have the teletype computer image wording
Right.
over the top of it, and the squiggly lines, the whole 9 yards. I mean, everything.
And then the crazy with like
And Rob dressed
Rob
up as a
the
wizard or something like
doing
that.
Some crazy
The
like
wind is blowing. God, they've been just on point.
that was really funny.
It was really, really funny. But I would imagine this is coming out really soon. Like I would say it might even be next week, the week after that. We don't know, but I'm speculating. And
They said in a few weeks.
Yeah.
On the tease today, because I was already writing the notes for the tease just from the video, and they had allies. Well, what are allies? We don't know what those are. And then they drop it today, and you saw some points for that, which we'll talk about later. But
it's incredible. It's finally here. We had to wait quite a while, but I think it's going to be worth the wait. I'm extremely excited. We'll hope to see some of the issues that have come up in the game over the last year and change of competitive play to be addressed,
answered, cleared up.
Yeah.
Interesting. The
Some
title
new rules of one, maybe.
was that it's not General's Handbook 2. It's General's Handbook 2017.
Yeah, 2017, which kind of says it'll be 2018, 2019,
or whenever they want to do it. So they're not being, shoehorned into, saying these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or like you said, it could be an every year thing, or just
I think that's what they're trying to shoot for. There is every year, which they kind of need to. I mean, the game changes enough. You come out with new armies, new rules for them, and they're going to need adjustments. Other armies will need adjustment.
It's pretty cool.
In the time, no more waiting for 4 years to get a new set of rules. 8
Or
years.
just to get an update.
Yeah.
I think it's great, and typically speaking, we get things a little bit early. So as soon as you see it go up on GW's site, the General's Handbook 2, you'll be seeing a review either the same day or very shortly thereafter on Frontline Gaming, giving you the scoop on what to expect.
Sounds good.
Yeah, really excited. So this episode is titled Old Alliances Get a Boost in Greenskin Blues.
Yes.
Scott's got a poetic bent, and I like that because the reason he brings that up is in the index that they show the table of contents for the book.
Yeah.
No mention of ye old Greenskins.
No Greenskins under destruction, just Iron Jaws, I think, is the only thing they dropped down there. So that no Spider Fangs, no Grots, no...
But that's not to say they don't get touched in the book. It just means that it appears that they're not getting allegiance abilities.
Well, and that could be really good, or...
Depends on how you look at it. Perhaps looking at these allegiance abilities, what we're getting is a hint of what they look at as the quote-unquote main factions.
That's true.
In the game. Maybe the Spider Fang Grots aren't considered to be a primary faction. They're kind of an offshoot or a support faction of, destruction or orcs or whatever.
Or they've been coming out with their own book.
Or maybe that.
You heard me make it up here right now.
That.
You heard it here first. Scott Reed
made it up.
So we're anticipating lots of points changes, hopefully some rules adjustments. And we'll dig more into that. But first, we do have the rumor mill photo. It's a las weapon of some variety.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It looks like I don't know. It's a las gun with a clip in the
Carbine?
Yeah, like a las
maybe?
carbine.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
It's not a pistol.
A las cannon of some sort.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's clearly a las weapon. I'm thinking Astra
It's,
Militarum.
it's the barrel, and you can see a clip put into it.
Hopefully new,
clipped
maybe
off
new
of a
sculpt
sprue.
for Astra Militarum, which has been a long time coming.
Maybe. I don't know. It's interesting, but I guess we'll just have to wait. Maybe that means Astra Militarum are coming out soon for 40K. GW did say there's going to be 10 codexes this year.
10.
That means 2 a month. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So you hold on.
Brace your wallets.
Hold on to your
2 months
knickers.
starting August, right?
Well, it has to. If they're going to do 10 this year, they do mathematically. That's the only option.
Yep.
Right. August. That's August, September, October, November, December.
Yeah.
You'd have to do 2 a month.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 in August, and then 2
Which
every
would make
month.
sense if we're having the
Or
General's Handbook.
drop ones that
coming
kind
out.
of go together. So like maybe Space Marine, and then like this month, whatever other Space Marines coming out will drop right on top of it. So just kind of lined up.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I would, if I was a betting man, I would bet you would do 2 a month and 1 in December,
Yeah.
and then do some other big release for Christmas.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. But that's a lot, right? It's a lot of content.
Just a lot.
So anyway, on to the main topic. So we're going to be talking about the article that was on Warhammer Community, kind of giving you a sneak preview of the General's Handbook 2. And the table of contents obviously tells you a lot. Again, kind of a similar format.
Yeah.
They're giving you the open play rules. They're giving
Play.
you the
We're
narrative
going to
play.
get cards for that. Open play cards. They
true.
talked about that.
Did they
So-
tell you what the cards did?
Nope, they just
Okay.
say this, but they say, I'm assuming it's the same as they have in 40K, where you have the cards and you can put them out for the open play for that. I mean, it's an assumption, but they're labeling it the same, so you'd count up faction and then get certain cards. Who knows?
Have to wait and see.
It'll be fun.
Have to wait and see. But I would imagine it has something to do with developing missions or campaigns, something along those lines.
Special victory conditions, because
Right.
in open play you do throw those in,
Like
based on
Maelstrom?
strength versus strength. No, they're more like in the original book rules where you had instant win conditions if you were outnumbered by a certain amount. So I'm assuming this is in that same vein, just like what they did with open play for 40K, where you go through the cards and I get a certain number of special condition cards if you outnumbered me or outmassed my force.
Got it.
I'm assuming that's where it's heading.
So
Well,
attempts to balance open play without actually like
Right, without
having
any
points
getting
and-
busy with it and messing with the
Oh, that's cool.
details
Busy
and
with
stuff.
That's cool. I to be honest, I gloss right
Busy
over.
times.
I'm
you know.
gonna start.
I don't
using
even.
that. In the
I don't
game story.
even. Honestly, I don't even
Like, hey,
read
who wants
the
to get
open
busy
play
with it?
part.
Oh.
If I'm gonna be real, I don't like. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I go straight to match play. But there's a lot of cool stuff in here. There's a lot of cool battle plans that are recreating a scenario as opposed to trying to create a completely matched,
Yeah.
a balanced play experience.
An extension in the narrative area as well.
Yep. The narrative area is picking up a lot of stuff. They've got rules for siege warfare. Again, more themed battle plans that are about telling a cool story as opposed to having a balanced game, which is cool.
Yeah, they mentioned what themed armies. So whatever that might entail.
Yeah, and for people who enjoy narrative play, there's a lot to like here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm hoping an open set of rules you can kind of toss things in and out between your friends. So when
Yeah.
you sit down to play, it's like, these are the grizzled old orcs, and they've been wandering through the desert this long, so let's give them this special ability, and that way it fits my story. And what are you going to do with your guys? And then hit the table and play. It'll be fun to actually have some concrete rules to toss in rather than making them up on the spot.
I think that helps a lot, right? It's like having an adventure hook when you're playing Pathfinder or D&D or something.
Right.
That's really cool. Again, it's not necessarily my cup of tea, but I think it's really fun. Narrative campaigns can be a blast.
Yeah.
That's actually my second favorite way to play after tournaments. And then, of course, into match play, all kinds of stuff. A big one, there's new battle plans.
6 new battle plans.
Yep, and they appear to be completely new missions. Maybe they're similar to the old ones. Maybe they're slightly changed. Maybe they're completely new. But
Hoping completely new.
you know what? Some of the old ones I like a lot.
Well, I'm going to keep around the old ones too, but that would give me 12 to pull
12 would
from.
be nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like the SoCal Open, we're doing 7 rounds for AOS, and we have 6 missions. I'd like to have 12 to draw from, so people really have to think about what they're going to field, because it gives them more options of what to think about, and it makes the armies a little more balanced because you have to adjust for each one of them in your list.
Yep.
Because any of them could come at you.
It's true.
And they do, while there can be imbalances created on a game-by-game basis, on a kind of an elevated, like, big picture basis, they would seem to indicate that you need to build a balanced list.
Right.
Which...
That would be the goal.
That's
really.
the hope.
Get missions that force you into a balanced list where you need a lot of guys, you need some strong heroes, you need some shooting, you need some assault. All that is in there, then all the better.
I agree. They give you incentive. They let you build the army you want to build, but they give you incentives to do it in a way that's a little bit more thematic.
Right.
Whether or not they succeed in that is definitely up to you. If you look at the last, the big Healing GT.
Oh yeah. You mean South Coast?
South Coast GT.
South Coast GT.
Certainly there was themes in the top list.
There were.
Skyfire theme.
Yeah.
That was the theme.
Hopefully that gets fixed.
Yeah.
So the big thing, though, is the announcement of allies and allegiance abilities for, we'll read them off, Order, Darkling Covens, which is dark elves.
Yeah.
Dispossessed, which is dwarves. Free Peoples, the humans, obviously my homies.
Fire Slayers we knew was coming, and Seraphon we knew was coming.
Wanderers, which is interesting. That's one of my other armies. Chaos.
The Bray Herds.
Are
getting a thing.
Slanesh. Slaves to Darkness, that's a very interesting one.
Yeah, Skaven Pestilence and Skaven Scryer.
Death, Flesh Eater Courts, Night Haunts, Soul Blight, and Destruction and Iron Jaws.
Well, two of those speak to me. I like those. I got a Night
Destruction
Haunt army,
has one.
and I've got Iron Jaws going.
No, Destruction gets one and Iron Jaws.
Right. Yeah,
Destruction
gets its own.
comma Iron Jaws.
Right,
okay,
right.
Got it.
All the Grand Alliances looks like they're getting new allegiance abilities.
Got it.
Yeah, they relisted them, and they kind of hinted that some things have changed.
Yeah.
They didn't say what, and a lot of this is based on the chat. If you go to their Facebook page, they've been answering questions and stuff.
Right.
And there were some interesting answers that lead you to kind of think about what might or might not be in the book. There was a kind of a squirrely answer about the Tomb Kings, about them and the new book. So, and when I read it, it was kind of up in the air. It didn't seem a solid answer one way or the other.
Well, if you look in the table of contents, there's no mention of legacy factions.
No,
So-
that section's gone. Yeah.
But the rule has always been that you can use any war scroll, but you have to use the most recent version.
Yep.
So to me, what that would indicate is that they're not putting them in General's Handbook 2017, but that they're not gone. We'll have to wait and see. But if you play Tomb Kings or if you play Bretonnians, I don't think you should be worried that your whole army is getting squatted. Obviously, not getting new models, it would appear, but I would guess you still would use your old war scrolls.
Yeah. When they're still online.
Yeah.
It's just it was interesting that part was tossed out. And then it said they had a squirrely answer.
If they don't have point costs though anymore, because they're not included,
Then you can't use them in match play.
Yeah.
That's
That
been a rule for a while.
That would probably be the
that would be the case then, right?
pull
Because
down
they
for that,
wouldn't be in this new book.
which means a lot of the upcoming tournaments are going to have to make an allowance for that for a little while.
Right.
Allow them to use old points or adjusted points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of keeping the old stuff in the game.
Yeah.
I know everyone has their own opinion on that, and let us know in the chat or in the comment section. I don't want to see people's Tomb Kings armies explode and go away.
Yeah, I don't want to see Bretonnians off the table either.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's fun. They add a lot to the game. I don't want to see those models go away. And there's a lot of really cool stuff, like especially for some of these factions that struggle, like Bray Herds. Like some of their characters are amazing.
Yeah.
You know, they really add a lot. Some of the armies that aren't very good get a big boost by reaching in to those older war scrolls and pulling out a character that really gives them a boost. So I would be bummed. I think we would get a lot less diversity at events. Like at the LVO, I saw there was like 2 or 3 Bretonnian players.
Couple Bretonnian players.
I think that's fun.
There were some Tomb Kings players.
Yeah. Well, the Tomb Kings got nerfed a bit, but they're still really good.
Yeah.
So, you know, interesting, right? We could speculate a lot as to what this means. But if you are one of those factions that we just listed, get excited. You're getting allegiance abilities. Who knows exactly what that entails.
No, I'm holding out for Greenskinz book. They're gonna get their own book. That's why they're not here. That's what I'm gonna believe.
Yeah, well,
I'll delude myself into that for now.
I think that they're trying to go like Iron Jaws are the new Oryx. Like I think that's kind of like where they're going with that. But
I'm sure you're right.
So kind of like Primaris Marine.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I would. Yeah, Primaris Marines are like
Fair enough.
slowly.
Yeah.
In the fluff, there's gonna be like a war between Primaris Marines and normal Marines,
I know,
and
like,
the normal
there was
Marines
a
are
great
gonna
battle.
lose.
The normal Marines valiantly fought but lost.
But they'll still be around. But they're gonna just be like, yeah, and they're like over on Planet X in the crap corner of the galaxy, and this is where everyone else is going.
Oh man, the four.
So wait, they're gonna shove my Greenskins in the corner of the realm
They'll be in
somewhere.
the
be
11th realm.
11th realm. Oh, wow, they've really fallen off the edge.
Yeah.
Right into the 11th
small,
realm.
It's a very small realm.
Yeah.
And they hang out with the Bretonnians and the Tomb Kings.
The Iron Jaws.
They just beat each other down.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know if any of this is happening. We're just guessing.
It also might be them Game Stores are trying to phase out their old model line.
Yeah, a lot of the Greenskin line's really old.
Yeah.
And they do look
Fair
kind of
enough.
funny.
Fair enough.
They have that kind of like high fantasy look to them that really does not fit.
Yeah.
Says the Free People's.
So this is a Free People's player.
I mean, at some point, you can't fault them for wanting to thin the line a bit and
No.
redo
Well, and that
sculpts
was the stated reason when they came out with
Right.
Sigmar in the first place. We need to, one, it's not selling. Two, we need to thin some of this line. We've got
Right.
a lot of stuff we're carrying.
Right.
But all they've done is give us new and new and new, and only
Right.
we're taking away 2 lines.
Right. And then
So
if they,
it
they
wouldn't
keep
shock
selling,
me either if in
it's great
6
that,
months I get to hear that Greenskins are not going to be made anymore.
Right.
It would disappoint me only because I have so many painted and ready to die on the field.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm sure that you'll be able to use the
Oh, yeah.
models.
Yes.
But your rules
not
will
going
never
anywhere.
get updated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at some point, you won't be
They'll
able
still
to
have a
get
place on
new
my shelf
boxes
for
from
my
them.
Pathfinder games and the occasional friendly Sigmar game, no matter what happens to them.
Yeah. I know it is a bummer, but it's like,
Let's just let the game evolve, guys.
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I don't.
Accept the
No,
new
nerd rage.
the new models, and let's
To
go
find
on.
some way to
Let's go. Yeah.
I can't
justify
use
nerd rage.
my Imperial Guard jet bikes anymore either from Road Trip.
I know. That's a
No.
bummer.
They're pretty cool. So anyway, let's jump on to the next topic, the Allies, which looks very, very interesting, and I can't wait to talk more about this. But we'll have to be patient for a little bit. So what we can ascertain from what we got, though, is that in a 2,000-point match play game, you can use 400 points of Allies to bring in. And Scott, I don't remember exactly what it said in the article. What did they say about Allies?
They said you'd be able to bring them in without losing certain allegiance abilities.
There you
You'd
go.
be able to combine them with other forces. So you could have your full Stormcast backed by Dirth, who was one of their examples. The example that popped into my head was getting some Spear Chuckas to go with my Iron Jaws.
Which
So
would
I
be
could go
a
ahead and
game
hit those
changer.
key things that are just blowing my guys off the table. Because once they get there, they'll do fine, but they need some shield to get there. And I have no cheap units to throw in front of them or no shooting to take things off the table in turn.
Yeah, I mean, that, like we were like, I didn't even think about that. Like the armies that don't literally have no shooting,
Right.
that all of a sudden is a radical changer. But you don't. It sounds like you wouldn't lose your abilities for being Iron Jaws.
Yeah, you can still use them as battle line.
So
As what it
then-
hinted at. It didn't say directly, so I can't say yes, this is the way it is, but they hinted at you be able to add them and still keep your abilities. They weren't specific on allegiances or not of battle line, etc.
And like so, it lets a lot of like death players bring Black Knights
Right.
who wouldn't be able to know.
Well, and
Or every order player gets a Celestial Hurricanum without losing any benefit.
Or Reichsguard Knights.
and they listed
Really good.
Soul Blight as one of the ones getting factions. Well, their main battle line is like your Blood Knights,
What is the
which
Soul
are kind of
Blight of the
expensive. That's
vampires,
all the
right?
vampire stuff.
Oh, they couldn't because they couldn't. Couldn't they just do vampire with a Y, and that would be IP protectable?
Vampire.
You know what I mean? Like, do they have to call it Soul Blight?
Whatever.
Well, that's the group. But you can put that would let me add Black Knights to that to round out maybe a battle line or add some Bone Rattle units to make a battle line. Now I don't have to have 3 groups of Blood Knights, which is a small number of models. They're great, but it's only 5 guys.
They are really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so now you could still take Blood Knights as battle line, but you could take another cheap battle line and not lose the ability to keep your
Yeah,
Blood
that's why I'm
Knights.
hoping it comes out. Because like I
Yeah.
said, they said in order to do battle line, but they didn't exactly say I keep it. They
Right.
just said to achieve it. So it's kind of a
Well, I guess
gotta get it in my hand, find out.
we'll have to wait and see. That's exciting though, because you could build a themed army, throw in some other cool stuff. Again, Celestial Hurricane would still be in every order list, except now you'll also get your allegiance abilities. Whee!
If you have 2
Well-
Celestial Hurricanums, do the abilities stack?
No, I don't believe they do.
No, a lot of them are worded in such a
Dang.
way they don't stack. when they're trying to shoot for that. It sounds like overall they haven't done so, and they've specifically said certain things do stack, which is unfortunate.
That is too bad.
But also, when I heard that, I thought my Night Hunt army, I can actually throw in a vampire if I want to, and throw in a necromancer, or use the Mortis engine that comes in the Mordant's box, where I got the rest of it, but I have this Mortis engine I can't use with my Night Hunts. It'd be nice to toss them in.
The one that comes in your starter box? Yes,
yeah.
Can you throw in a Celestial Hurricanum with Skyfires?
No, different Grand Alliance. Oh. So yeah, I mean, but what you see is it with Sylvaneth buffing up Kuraneth Hunters, and now you can still do that, but now they can get all their Sylvaneth buffs too. So from what we're ascertaining here,
that's gonna be great.
We'll have to wait and see. But of course, I'm extremely curious about the Free Peoples stuff, and you may or may not see a Tactica on the Warhammer community site about playing Free Peoples in this new setup by yours truly. Keep your eye out for that.
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't see Devoted to Sigmar.
Oh,
I was surprised they weren't there because they seem to tie right into Sigmar itself.
They better not be getting rid of those guys.
No,
I don't think they're getting rid of them.
I would be willing to bet that they're going to be...
That Flagell kit's not that old, and they've made some models for offshoot games that go into that faction. I was just surprised not to see them getting their own allegiance abilities.
Right.
I don't think it's going anywhere. I think, like we were saying, is that my guess...
They'll be in order again.
My guess is that these that they've listed here are the big sub-factions of the Grand Alliances, right? And I'm guessing...
Right.
I would guess that, like, Free Peoples, that there will be things that ally with them that are these other things we're talking about, like the Spider Riders.
Right.
I would be willing to bet that you could take them as allies for your Iron Jaws.
Or for the Bone Splitters.
Moon Clan Grots or whatever the case may be. Right. And again, I'm just guessing.
When the Devoted have enough keywords, they almost can be used in certain write-ups with your, or used to be able to use certain write-ups with your Stormcast.
Yeah. You could they're probably just meant to be like a sub-faction. Yeah. Right? Where the Free Peoples are a sub-faction of Order. The Dispossessed of Sigmar are a sub-faction of them.
Okay.
And like, I would say that I would, in a 40K comparison, they're like Sisters of Silence.
Okay.
Could you play them on their own if you wanted? Sure, but they're meant to support the Imperium.
Right.
And I think that a lot of these other factions, that's kind of the role they're going to take.
And that'd be an interesting add-in because you do your Stormcast where you're actually allowed to ally them in. You'd actually get a mass unit to bubble wrap rather than use your really expensive Stormcast for that.
Yep. It opens up a lot of tactical options. And I think that this is going to be I think the Allegiance abilities and the allies is the big... It looks like it's going to be the big change.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would also imagine that we're going to see repointing on a lot of units.
Yeah, we already got a hint on what they were thinking of doing. We'll see if those stick with the Fire Slayers. Yeah, and a couple of the Death units.
The Fire Slayers went down almost half, right? Like...
No, 20 points. 20 points off of all the infantry units, and the everybody else, all the heroes were like 40 to 20 to like 60 or 80 points, something like that. The different ones on beasts were a lot cheaper.
Nice.
So not half, but I mean enough that if you fielded 2, you can start fielding a third with the saved points or beef them up.
Right.
No, I think it looks great. We'll have to wait and see to get more information, but in the meantime, let's look at the current ITC standings. Now, a lot of people might have noticed that your score has changed. The Best Coast Pairings app had been making a mistake. It was accidentally recognizing some events as major events that were not.
Oh.
So some people have noticed that their scores have changed. Really sorry about that. A community member pointed it out, and it was a goof. It affected the 40K side more than the...
Was the community member John Fearhelm?
No, it was not. So if you did notice that your score changed, that's why the software was accidentally identifying some events as a major when they weren't. So it was changing people's score because you need one major to max out your score, and then you can have up to 4 GTs and up to 3 RTTs to comprise a full score, and up to 5 majors.
Okay.
That's how the score is calculated, but you need one major to max out your score, or 2 and 3 RTTs, or 1 and 1 GT, etc., etc. So current top 10, we have Sam Valdez, Zach Lopez is in second, Vlad Nika in third, Michael Birch in fourth, Jarrett Zazueta in fifth, Josh Harvey in sixth, Matthew Pashby in 7th, Tyler Hamill in 8th, Alex Gonzalez in 9th, and Jeremy Vessier is in 10th. Top teams, we have Betty's Fighting Havanikins.
Still a great name.
WSD in 2nd, Your Mom's Garage 3rd, 4th, Left Coast Corsairs, 5th, Canhammer. Beast Claw Raiders, Frank Deloach, your guy. Salty Banana is a big fan of Frank Deloach.
I am.
Grant Potsube is number 1, Bone Splitters. Chaos, we have Zach Lopez. Death, Alex Gonzalez. Destruction, Sam Valdez. Disciples of Zinch, Michael Birch. Flesh Eater Courts, Lance Shee. Fire Slayers, Brad Jimenez. Iron Jaws, Scott Reed holding it down. Blades of Corn, Kevin Gaffuri. Order, James Hill. Seraphon, Jarrett Zizweta. Skaven Pestilence, John Furhelm. Stormcast Eternals, Jeremy Vessier. Sylvaneth, Vlad Nika. Well done.
I'm only holding that down because I don't think anybody else has put another score on the board. I'm 3 events in, everyone else is like 2.
Right.
Yeah, things have slowed down a little bit with
the 8th edition.
with 8th edition 40K.
Yeah.
And we knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, and it'll rebalance as people get tired of playing as much 8th. They'll go back to Age of Sigmar. It'll happen.
Well, I'm hoping they play both just as much.
I am going to play both whenever possible. Like at Adepticon, I'm going to play AOS and 40K champs. I'm going to try and double crown.
Nice. Are they at the same time?
Or a single crown. No, one is Thursday, Friday, the other is Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So you'll be able. It's doable.
Nice.
What about Walkabout the Realms? What have we done for hobby?
Ugh.
I've actually gotten some stuff, quite a bit of stuff, hobby done in the last week, considering how busy I was. I assembled a couple Space Marines, got some more Free Peoples. My list is going to change with the General's Handbook 2017 dropping, so trying to get ready for that to show it off. That's about it for me. What about you, Scott?
I've been repainting a couple of models. The new rules have dropped for 40K. They've changed the way some of my armies work, and I'm trying to get stuff together for the BAL. And then I realized that because of the vote, I can't bring my super heavy because it's too high on the power level. And that puts a hole in my army that normally was fine.
Oh, with your Fellblade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to fill that up, and I realized everything else is kind of sort of painted because I stopped working on that army.
Your Red Scorpions?
Yeah.
Nice. So what is their successor chapter? Or what is their parent chapter?
Unknown.
Is it unknown?
That means at one time it was listed as Ultramarines maybe, and now it's just solidly unknown.
That means you get to pick the chapter tactics that you use.
Well, not for this one, but the book is
right, not for the BAO,
right?
Well, no.
Yeah.
So
I want to put I want to get my chapter master in there because he lets everybody reroll. His Stormbolter has actually an reduces 2 from armor and does 2 damage.
No, it's great.
He seems pretty cool, and this might be the only time to use him because it'll be nebulous when the Space Marine book drops.
The Space Marine
chapter
Codex,
they're in and what's going on.
Right.
Well, the Space Marine Codex tells you that you use the chapter tactics outlined, or you use the chapter tactics of your parent chapter.
Right.
But if you don't have a parent chapter and it's unknown, you pick.
Yeah. Well, and moving forward, I've already got some salamanders I'm painting and stuff, so that's where I'm going to go. New game, new army.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the
awesome.
standard.
What about you, buddy?
I painted an entire 2,000 point army in a week.
That's a lie.
That's true. Mariana gave me a bunch of guff for my normal answer. Well, I mean, this week, at least with the Paint Commission Studio, we finished painting Orc Maw Crusher, and it looks really good. So I got to oversee that, and it was painted by Oscar, one of our high-rated, long-time artists with us, actually since the beginning, I think.
He's been painting with us for 5 years, I think, now.
It's for a client named Justin. It came out really well. I'll give you those images, Scott. You can put them in the show notes.
Okay.
And they came out, so that was a good week, Age of Sigmar.
Nice.
And so, got to work closely with the artist and the client and make that kind of image come together with some custom basing and stuff.
Nice.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, that was it for me. I've been assembling some Marines. I'm trying to get ready for Nova Open.
Nova.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my mind up if I'm gonna, fingers crossed, if a Codex I'm hoping to play comes out by then, which I don't know, or if I'm gonna play Space Marines because I have a Raptors army with Lias Isodon that's really good, and so I'm thinking I might just stick with that because I know it's gonna be available. So,
yeah, they do a narrative of that event too, right?
They do.
And it's off schedule.
I don't know the schedule off the top of my head because I play in the 40K Invitational and the 40K Champs.
Okay. Well, I was reading up, and it sounded like you could play it while everybody else is playing, but people who were in the 2 different tournaments could do it as well, but after hours.
I think that you know what? I don't know. I don't want to tell anybody the wrong thing. The best thing to do is check their website.
I'm more interested than trying to inform. I'm sorry, because I'd love to see something like that at some other tournament stuff where you have something else to play outside of that that's a little more fluffy, lighthearted, easy to plop down.
Well, at the LVO, a shameless plug, we do have a narrative event that sold out in 1 day.
Yikes.
Yes,
Insane.
I heard that one.
That was 40K?
40K narrative sold out in 1 day.
Is there an Age of Sigmar narrative?
No, not yet. This year we've got the doubles, which will be a ton of fun, and we've got the AOS championships, which all of you out there listening, please, the tickets registration is 126% over what we did last year. 2.25 times
for
in the
all
same
events, or
general attendance.
wow.
It's banana. Like the 40K narrative sold out in a day. It's triple-digit attendance for that one event.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40K champs is pushing 400 in under a week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That'd be nice to be part of that.
Unreal.
Right? I haven't played in the 40K for 3 years. I guess I played 3 years ago when you were at the previous venue, and it was fun. But then 7th just kind of wore me down. I'm like, I'll play games. Any friend calls me, I'll go play. I'll enjoy that. But
I'd love to know what the number of Storm Ravens was a week ago with what they are now.
Oh, after the FAQ? If you go on eBay, it tells you the story. True. But if you want to play Age of Sigmar at the event, please do. We're also going to be...
sign up.
We're going to have what will probably be the first and biggest Shadespire tournament in the world.
Yes, I read that.
Yeah. Obviously, we can't tell you much about it because the game hasn't been released yet. But Games Workshop did tell us, like, hey, go out, let people know.
Well, and they teased it at this year's Adepticon, right?
Yeah.
It'd be great to see that on the table and how it plays, because it's supposed to be more competitive, a little more fast-paced. Yeah. Kind of like playing a Magic game where you can get through 3 rounds or so in an hour.
Right.
And so you can do multiple player tournaments. You can get up to large numbers because you can get through the number of rounds to get through, which sounds fun. We're
sitting on an interview with the game designers.
Nice.
And we're waiting to release it until we can. But I'd say the game is it is a competitive game. You don't have to be competitive to enjoy it.
Well, that's true of any game.
Like you could play Magic casually, but this game is meant to be like Magic in that you go to a tournament, you play 5 rounds, and you play best of 3 each round. Quick, you have miniatures. I can't say too much about it, but it's exciting. I think it's gonna be really popular, and it's set in the Age of Sigmar universe.
And the only 3 groups I know of so far that they put out was the Stormcast, the Bloodbound characters,
and Death, I think.
And Death.
And they revealed
part of a
the
Death faction. The skeletons for Death,
Death, which looked really good.
And then
they looked awesome.
They had the AOS dude with no helmet and the girl Stormcast, which I thought was super cool.
Female Stormcast?
Yeah, I think that's really neat. So, right on. There's a lot to like. So if you do want to get your tickets to the LVO, please do. Don't wait.
Don't wait.
It's going to be big. It's going to be a big year.
Oh, it's going to be... If we retain this level of growth, it's going to be literally twice as big, which is it's insane.
Right.
Insane. And then also we've got the SoCal Open coming up, well into triple-digit attendance for that event. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to grab your tickets. If you're playing Age of Sigmar, we hope to see you there. Mr. Scott's the head TO. You're the head TO of both events, actually, the LVO and the SoCal Open. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope to see everybody there. And please grab your tickets and get ready to have some fun.
Yeah, please come on out and see us.
We have a couple events coming on this weekend, and Scott, you're on the road. Obviously, we're going to be at the BAO. Scott's coming to play. So we can't wait to see everybody there this coming weekend, but there's a couple AOS events coming up. The OFCC AOS event in Vancouver, Washington, not Canada. Age of Sigmar RTC tournament in Montclair. The Unbounds August Sigmar tournament in Scottsdale, Arizona. And the Slobberknocker GT in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, which you are going to.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, I'll be leaving the Thursday, not next Thursday, but a week from this Thursday.
Oh, because you're on summer vacation.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm going to blow through Albuquerque on the way, stop there, meet some of the guys there. Some of them are going all the way out to Slobberknocker. Then I'm continuing, because my son's off with friends, he'll be on the East Coast, so I'm going to continue out to the East Coast, pick him up, drive back, and then we'll be back for the Rolling Bad Rumble, which is later in...
You're doing a cross-country double? Yeah. Wow, that's cool. What a cool road trip, especially with your son.
Well, he's 17, and he'll be gone soon, so I figured spending a few days with him in the car. If one of us doesn't kill the other, it'll be a success.
It'll be a bonding moment either way.
That's right.
Like you'll bond your fist to his chin, or you'll hug. Probably both.
Probably both.
That's the way father-son relationships work in my experience. But that sounds like a great vacation. I'm on the road almost every weekend in August, so I'm not going to be able to go to. Yeah, but I'll be at Gen Con. I'll pop my head in. There's a big ITC event.
Yeah, I heard that one.
It's a major. Yeah, it's huge. So I'll pop my head in and say hi. But yeah, I'm traveling, unfortunately, almost every weekend of the month. So no tournaments for me. What about you, buddy?
Tournament-wise, I'll be at the BAO this weekend. So if you guys are there playing 40K, I'll be there visiting. I don't think I'm going to be playing, but I'll be there hanging out and helping with like admin work and stuff. What else? I don't know.
Yeah, BAO, and then I'll try to sneak one in maybe early August, but I'm on the road after that nonstop.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a date in late September to do a prep for SoCal.
SoCal?
Yeah.
Nice.
And talk that over with Nick, and I'll run 3 of the scenarios. He'll run the other 3. So if you go to both of ours, you'll get a preview of all the possible scenarios.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Unless we get more, in which case we'll just separate those up.
It's hard. I mean, I usually, I'm here on Saturdays and stuff like that, so it's hard to get to them. But
yeah,
if I can sneak one in, I will.
That's always the hard part.
I'll be at the SoCal Open.
Taking your weekends out when you work all week for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes the work week's a bit harsh. Other times it's nice.
Yeah.
And you have no problems. But
it's the same. But I always love getting out to tournaments. It reinvigorates my enthusiasm for the hobby.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Ninth Realm, number 54. Old Alliances get a boost in Greenskin Blues.
That sounds like a country song.
It does.
It does.
It does. We hope you are excited for General's Handbook 2017. Obviously, stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more to talk about and do some sneak previews and all that fun stuff. And otherwise, we will talk to you next week.
See you guys later.